Good morning, students. So today we are going to conduct clinical examination of sensory nervous system. You all know the importance of clinical examination. So actually in future you are going to become the doctors. So after finishing the first year, you will be starting your clinical career. From that day onwards till you die, you are going to be a clinician. For you, the clinical examination is very important. Unlike the hematological experiments, where you should be aware of the results and interpretation, otherwise the procedure you need not remember. Whereas here, the clinical examination, you should remember everything, and you have to improve this clinical acumen over your lifetime. So you are already well versed with the general examination, and already you know the clinical examination of cardiovascular system and the respiratory system is over for you. So now we are going to start the nervous system, clinical examination of nervous system. In that today we are going to examine the sensory nervous system. So we are going to examine some of the sensory modalities. So sensory nervous system, sensory sensation or sensory nervous system means, so it is the perception or awareness of the stimuli, external as well as the internal. So sensory nervous system includes the general sensation, means the sensations which are perceived from all of your body. There is general sensation like what touch, temperature, these are called as the general sensation. Some sensations are called as the special senses, for example, which arise from the special senses like the vision, audition, gustation, olfaction, like this, these are called as the special sensations. And third is the visceral sensation, the sensation which arise from your viscera. So today we are going to examine the general sensation. This general sensation we are examining under the sensory modalities. The sensory modalities are, we examine first the superficial sensation like the touch, temperature, pain. Then we are going to examine the deep sensations like the pressure and the deep pain, that is pain which arises from the deep structures like bones and tendons, like that. And then we are going to examine the position sense, and as well this also includes the joint movement which you call it as the proprioception. So that is why we call it as the position sense and joint sensation. Next we are going to examine the vibration sense, and finally we are going to examine the cortical examination. We are separating it as the cortical sensation, meaning where the parietal cortex is a must for the awareness or perception where of these sensations, where you require the interpretation of the 2 or 3 more sensations. So we start with the superficial sensation called as the touch. Before going to the examination of the sensory nervous system, we usually examine the sensory nervous system in the dermatome wise. Dermatome wise. What do you mean by dermatome? Dermatome means the patch of the skin which is supplied by the peripheral nerve. So peripheral nerve meaning you have usually a motor and sensory component. Here we are examining only the sensory nervous system. So we say peripheral nerve means it is a sensory branch or sensory part of the peripheral nerve. So patch of the skin or part of the skin which is supplied by a single spinal peripheral nerve is called as the dermatome. So our whole body consists of the dermatomes. For example, you start from the cervical. The cervical, so for example, you say the ear dermatome is the C2, and back of the neck C3, and front of the neck C4 up to the level of the clavicle, and C4 the area over the deltoid, and C5 the axilla. Likewise it continues. So from the cervical to the thoracic, then the lumbar, like that. So we call this the dermatome, and we examine each sensation in the dermatome wise. And the preliminaries you all know should stand on the right side of the patient, because most of us are right-handed persons. It is easy for examine the patient when you stand on the right side. And always first you have to get acquaintance with the patient. You should not make the patient frightened. So, you should introduce yourself and get introduced to the patient and then explain what are you going to do. So, we start the sensory nervous system. Good morning, I am Dr. Venkatachalam. So, what is your name?
Chandrasekhar.
So, you are from?
Tirupati.
What is your occupation? So, like that we have to record the case sheet purpose, you have to record the name, age, sex and then the address, everything. And then you have to tell what are you going to, because basically you will be learning after you go to the clinical side, will be very important is the history taking. So, where in the history taking they will tell you the complaints and the duration, and depending upon the complaints you will become to a conclusion which system you should examine. Suppose they say that the chest pain and breathlessness, like that you have to examine cardiovascular system. They say suppose for example fever, cough and then the breathlessness, then you have to examine the respiratory system, like that depending upon the complaints. For example, if they say the complaints regarding to the sensation, like they say that I have loss of sensation somewhere, or I have increased sensation somewhere, or I have the pain sensation is not felt, like that they will complain. Or for example, they come as a part of for you as a general examiner. For example, you say the diabetic patient comes, then you have to examine as a whole the sensations also. So, in that circumstances you have to examine. So, then you have to tell the patient you have to explain to the patient why it is necessary. So, I may have to examine your sensory nervous system, that is I may use, these are the some of the objects I will be using. So, for example, if I want to test the touch, I will be using the cotton, I will be using the pencil for some examination, I will be using this vibrating tuning fork for examining the vibration, and this compass for testing your touch sensation, and I will be using this hot water. You can see here there is a hot water and cold water for examining the temperature. Okay. So, I will be first examining the touch. Touch consists of, like you know that sensory tracts, ascending tracts, there are two types of the tract, dorsal column or posterior column and the anterolateral spinothalamic tract. So, you all know the sensations carried by the posterior or dorsal column. There is a fine touch, tactile localization, discrimination, vibration and then position and stereognosis. And whereas the other part of the touch consists of two parts, one is the fine touch and crude touch. The crude touch carried by the ventral or anterior spinothalamic tract and pain temperature carried by the lateral spinothalamic tract. So, we have to separately examine each one. First, we will proceed with the superficial sensations. Like I told you, we will be examining the sensations under the dermatome wise. So, we should put a tabular column where we will be putting the one side, on one side we will be putting the dermatomes. Next, we will be always examining the both sides of the body. For example, if you are examining the right side, right hand, simultaneously or immediately you have to do on the left side and compare the sensations on the right and left. Likewise, dermatome wise also you should examine on the right side and as well as the left side of the body. So, you put a tabular column where one side you will put a dermatome wise, then you put each for each sensation, for example touch, then the temperature, then the pain, you put a tabular column and you have to put a left side and right side, then you have to write whether it is a perceived or decreased perception or increased perception, like that you have to notify. So, first we will examine the touch, that too fine touch. So, where the patient should perceive the sensation. So, we will be touching the fine touch with a wisp of cotton, we will be touching, as I told you, dermatome wise. One thing you have to remember, in the face, the sensation, general sensations is carried by the trigeminal nerve. So, the trigeminal nerve, three branches. So, we will be saying that the ophthalmic branch, the maxillary branch and mandibular branch. So, this will be included in the cranial nerve examination. You will examine, though it is a general sensation like touch, temperature, pain, these things, but here the face, regarding the face, we will be examining when you are examining the cranial nerves, that is the trigeminal nerve So, which is a mixed, you can examine the sensory and motor component of that. So, like that if you say, so there you should perceive. So, when I touch, the subject should tell whether they perceive by indicate either by raising the finger, or you can say yes, no, like that. If they perceive, yes, if they do not perceive, no. సో నేను టచ్ చేస్తాను సార్, మీరు పర్సీవ్ చేస్తే ఎస్ అని చెప్పండి, లేకపోతే నో అని చెప్పండి, లేదు ఫింగర్, ఏది విచ్ ఈస్ కన్వీనియంట్ ఫర్ యూ, ఫింగర్, యూ రైజ్ ద ఫింగర్. సో వీ స్టార్ట్ విత్ ద ట్రై, లైక్ ఐ టోల్డ్ ద ట్రైజెమినల్ నౌ. సో ఆల్వేస్ స్టాండ్ ఆన్ ద రైట్ సైడ్. సో ఇప్పుడు టచ్ చేస్తాను సార్. సో ఆల్వేస్ you immediately examine the opposite counterpart for comparison's sake. Always remember this, always each and every sensation you should compare. So like this, so I examined the trigeminal now. Now we come to the C2. For example, I told you the ear, over the ear. Like this. So usually, you remember this, whenever you are examining a patient, usually is a dictum that you strip the patient, that is remove the cloth dress, so that you can examine the dermatomes over the clavicle, over the chest, like T1, T2, T3, for up to the T12 level, or inguinal, and then inner side of the thigh, outside of the thigh, like that you have to examine, and you have to examine the inner side of the upper arm, outer side, like that. So you should remember, whenever you are examining a patient or clinical subject, you should strip and examine. So I am showing you how to examine, so that you can cultivate this, or you can examine in total. So I will be showing only few examples here. So likewise I will examining the చేతులను ఇట్లా పెట్టి అట్లా అది కూడా అట్లా పెట్టు. సో పర్సెప్షన్, ఆన్ పర్సీవింగ్ దే ఆర్ రైజింగ్ ద ఫింగర్. చెయ్యి ఇట్లా ఇందాక తిప్పినట్టు.
Yes. Yes.
So the perception, like this you have to examine over the lower limb also. This is the fine touch. Crude touch, either you can examine the same pattern, same dermatomes, either by using your finger you can touch, that becomes a crude touch, or you can take some pen or pencil, with that you can touch the each dermatome over the body, and you can examine the crude touch. I told you fine touch is carried by the dorsal column or posterior column, or you can say the fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus, whereas the crude touch is carried by the anterior spinothalamic. You know the difference. So the posterior column ascends in the spinal cord on the same side up to the level of the medulla, whereas the spinothalamic, they cross immediately to the opposite side and ascend in the spinal cord. Crude touch is carried by the anterior spinothalamic. Now I am going to examine the crude touch in a similar fashion. చెయ్యి ఈ పక్కకి ఇట్లా అట్లా. So like this I examined the crude touch, fine touch, crude touch. So superficial sensation, under the superficial sensations you have to examine the touch, pain, temperature. Usually the pain, they say that the pain should be, because the pain will be frightening to the subject, so it should be always examined the last, they say that. But it comes under the two headings, one is the superficial pain and is the deep pain. So now for convenience I will examine the temperature. Temperature, I have two things, one is the hot water and the cold water. So we will have separately testing the hot water and cold water. In the dermatome wise, again the dermatome wise. So the subject is able to perceive the hot water. It is written here hot water. So, they are correctly perceiving the hot water and the cold water. So, simultaneously immediately you have to examine on the opposite side.
Cold.
So, like this you have to examine hot water and cold water, likewise throughout the body.
Hot water. Hot water. Cold.
So, like this you have to do dermatome wise, compare it immediately on the opposite side. You should not examine whole side right side on one time and then whole left side another time. You should not do that. So, dermatome wise, if you are examining the C2 immediately, next you have to examine the C2 on the left side, like that you have to examine. So, see sir, I am examining using this pin. So, you have to use pins like this. You should not use the hypodermic needle which you are using in the hematology, because they are designed for painlessly cutting. So, they will cut and cut your skin almost painless. So, when you are giving the injections intramuscular or the subcutaneous or the IV, they will cut the skin and enter painlessly almost. So, you should not do like that. You should use the ordinary needles using the needle. And here when you are using the needle for assessment of the pain sensation, this is a superficial and they should perceive with a light touch of this needle. So, again I will examine the superficial pain, the dermatome wise.
Yes.
So, immediately to the
Yes.
like this. So, like this you have to examine the inner side of the forearm, immediately that side, outer side of the forearm and immediately that side. So, likewise you have to examine the pain sensation dermatome wise. So, we have examined the superficial sensations like the fine touch, crude touch, variation in the temperature, hot water and cold water, and the superficial pain. Now, we move on to the deep sensation. So, deep sensation I told you pressure. A sustained touch is called as the pressure. You can use the back of the pencil or back of your pen. Like your pen, you can use the pen or the pencil. A sustained touch is called as the pressure. So, you can elicit this pressure sensation the dermatome wise. So, I will show you how to elicit the pressure. So, is it different from the touch?
Same. Both sides.
So, no, I am comparing with your that crude touch with the pressure. Different? Different. So, it is different. So, crude touch is different from the crude touch means just you are touching with your finger or a pencil or a pen like that. Whereas pressure means you apply, you sustain touch. Sir?
Yes. Different. Yes, sir.
Like that you examine I am not showing the lower limb, you have to examine the lower limb also, likewise here,
Yes, sir.
likewise,
Yes, sir.
likewise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you should examine, you should not leave. I am not showing, does not mean that you should not leave that. So, you have to examine from the top to the bottom, up to the great toes and toes, little toe also you have to examine the sensation. Now, we are coming to the deep pain. So, deep pain is elicited by either squeezing the belly of the muscle or tendons. For example, for this you will be using only one or two parts in your body. For example, I say that in upper limb one area we will choose and examine that, elicit the deep pain. Lower limb, you have to elicit the some area. So, for example, I say that in upper limb, squeezing the biceps muscle. So, for example, say that biceps muscle is there. You all know in your childhood also you will be playfully squeezing or pressing the biceps and you will be eliciting something. So, like this,
Spains.
like this you can elicit a pain. Immediately you have to compare.
Pains.
So, likewise in lower limb, you have to squeeze the Achilles tendon. You can squeeze the calf muscle or you can squeeze the Achilles tendon like this and elicit pain. Similarly, immediately compare on the opposite side, squeeze. So, likewise, you have to examine the deep sensations. Again, you have to put a tabular column. So, like I told you, for this you need not put the dermatome wise for the deep pain. So, upper limb squeezing of the belly of the biceps, pain elicited. Lower limb squeezing the calf muscle or squeezing the Achilles tendon produced or elicited the deep pain, like this. Now, we will examine the position sense and joint movement simultaneously. So, you can examine all the joints in the upper limb or in the lower limb. For example, you start here the position sense. So, in the lower limb, likewise you hold the finger like this. This is the, you hold the middle phalanx and then the distal phalanx you will be moving. So, the position. So, the subject should tell whether the position of the joint, which way. So, it is, for example, if I do like this, they should say it is lower down. If I move like this, they should say it is upward movement, like this they have to tell. So, this like if you are examining a doctor, for example, maybe a medical student, they may be saying flexion or extension, but if you are examining a layman or a patient, they can say that it is down or up only. When you are doing like this, avoid touching the other side, this neighboring fingers like this finger and this finger, avoid touching. So, by even if they are not knowing, perceiving this movement, they may say that if you touch like this from this finger, they will say that there is a movement is like that. Or otherwise also with the closed eyes, the subject can keep the which finger I am holding. On the opposite limb, they can hold the finger and they can move this movement like this, they can show, or they can say that it is the down or up like this. So, we will examine. చెప్తారా సార్ డౌన్ అప్
Down. Up.
So, like this you have to examine all the joints from the small joints to the big joints also. You can say, for example, so you are holding, that is, for example, here I have shown you. So, the joint is held in between your two fingers like this, the distal and proximal. Likewise, here also the distal and proximal you hold and produce a movement.
Forward. Extension.
So, like this.
Flexion. Extension.
Like this, you can immediately, just the one wrong thing I have did is, if I do like this, immediately I have to do the same finger on the opposite. I should not continue like this. I should have first, if I am examining here in this middle finger, immediately I have to go to the opposite limb, compare, and I have to do like this.
Flexion. Extension.
Like this, and immediately when if I do like here, immediately I have to do here.
Flexion.
After doing here the elbow, I have to do in the opposite side elbow. Similarly, I can do in the lower limb also. All this you can hold the toes and do the movement like this. So, next is joint sensation. So, when usually they say that the first degree, initial first 10 degrees of movement not perceived, minimum is 10-degree movement required for perception. If the sensation is lost, more than that they are required. So, for example, I say that, so I hold the hand like this, I produce flexion So the subject has to tell when immediately when they perceive the movement, they should tell. Now like that they have to tell. So if I am producing flexion, suppose some person, if the sensation is lost, even I flex this much also they are unable to perceive. But whereas a normal person, when I do, so నేను ఫ్లెక్స్ చేసినప్పుడు మీకు మూమెంట్ తెలుస్తూనే నవ్వు అని చెప్పండి.
Now.
So immediately, so you can say that this much of movement is enough to produce the awareness in the subject. This is called as the joint movement or joint sensation.
Yes.
So like this. So the normal is, I told you, 10 degrees. Less than 10 degrees or 10 degrees is the minimum or normal. If a person where the joint sensation, where the posterior column is damaged, the joint position sensation is not perceived, or position sense they cannot perceive, and joint movement they cannot perceive. So even with 20 degrees or 30 degrees flexion, they are unable to perceive the joint sensation. So this is how we examine the position sense and joint sensation. Next, we will be examining the vibration sense. So vibration sense is, like I told you, touch. Pressure is sustained touch and vibration is repetitive touch. So it is nothing but the touch receptors are stimulated and you make the tuning fork vibrate. So this vibration means, for example, you say that it is the frequency is 128 Hz. So 128 times it vibrates. So 128 times it touches your touch receptor. That is the meaning of the vibration. And the vibration sense is better examined over the bony prominences. For example, when you are doing the cranial examination, so 8th nerve cranial audition, we will be examining it, keeping it over a mastoid process or the bony prominence, and you will be examining. Similarly, here general sensation also, we will be examining the vibration. You have to keep this over the bony prominences, like suppose you are examining here. Sir. So here this radial bone is there, the bony prominence you can keep, or over the knuckles of the fingers you can keep, or here over the olecranon process you can keep in the upper limb. Whereas in the lower limb you can keep it over this part which is called as the medial malleolus, or you can keep the lateral malleolus. So you have to make this tuning fork vibrating by hitting over your hypothenar eminence, this fangs. So you will be like this. Whereas you have to hold with your fingers. If you touch this, immediately the vibration will be stopped. So don't make a touch contact. You should not contact this one when it is vibrating. So you should hold the handle. The handle of the vibrating tuning fork is here. You have to hold. Don't touch these fangs, and then this head should be kept over the bony prominence. Like I told you, the knuckles are over the radial process. So or olecranon process. So in the upper limb and lower limb we will be examining the vibration. I told you this vibration is a repetitive touch, and as well it is also carried by the posterior column, or dorsal column, or fasciculus gracilis and cuneatus fibers. So we will examine in the upper limb. So the radial prominence, the bony prominence, you have to make it prominent, and then ready, the subject should be informed. Sorry, the vibrate అవుతుంది. మీరు అది ఇమ్మీడియట్ పర్సీవ్ చేస్తేనే ఎస్, స్టాప్ అయితేనే యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైజ్ యువర్ ఫింగర్. సో వెన్ దే పర్సీవ్ దే సే ఎస్, and when they stop perceiving the sensation, they have to raise the finger. That means it is stopped. Then the examiner should take this and keep it over his bony prominence, thinking that the examiner or doctor is a normal person. So if you still perceive, then the subject or patient is abnormal. It also stopped on you also, then you can say that both are normal. So hit over the hypothenar, prevent holding at here, you have to hold at the handle, and this head should be kept.
Yes. Stop.
So for me also it is stopped.
Yes. Stop.
So for me also it is stop. Like that you examine. Similarly, in the lower limb, you have to keep it over the
Yes. Stop.
Similarly, you can examine all the lateral malleolus. Oh, I have to compare on the other side.
Yes. Stop.
So you can examine on the lateral malleolus also. So like this we examine the vibration. So we examine the superficial sensations like touch, temperature, pain, and deep sensations like pressure and deep pain, and then we examine the position and joint sensation and vibration. So we have finally come to the cortical sensation, which I told you. So that is tactile localization, tactile discrimination, and stereognosis. These are the three sensations which are called as the cortical sensations. To perceive these sensations three, we should have the parietal cortex. For otherwise, for perception of the otherwise, now we examine all the sensation, your thalamus is enough. Whereas if you say that the kinesthetic sensation, which you call it the unconscious proprioception, we call it the kinesthetic sensation, for which the cerebellum is enough. So when you are examining the tactile, that is tactile localization means this is called as the pinpoint localization. With the closed eyes, if you touch one dermatome on one side or one part of the body, with the other hand the subject can pinpointedly localize where you have touched. That is called as the tactile localization with the closed eyes. So for example, you are touching on the right side, for example over the thumb. So the subject with the closed eyes can locate where you have touched. That is called as the tactile localization. Give a pen or pencil to the subject and you start touching. Whether you can, that is like your wisp of cotton, fine touch, you can use that fine touch and you examine the tactile localizations. Sorry, pen. So I will touch one part of your body. With the closed eyes, you have to keep the pen, tip of the pen there. For example, so now I am touching using the fine touch, closed eyes. So this is the pinpoint localization. Similarly, so like that when you localize, there is or there will be a small difference. That is, when you, if you say, I told you, though I told you pinpoint localization. For example, you make the wisp of cotton very pointed like this. Sir, just. Though the dermatome may be correct, but I touched here, subject has touched slightly some away. This is called as the localization distance. Localization distance. There will be small difference, but this localization distance will be very, very less when you compare the forearm or thigh over the hand. So, తెలుస్తాను సార్ ఇక్కడ అయితే. So see the exact, so almost it is exact, there is the localization distance, that is the difference between your touching and keeping the pen, the difference between these two called the localization distance is very minimum in the palm of the hand. Similarly, over the face also you can demonstrate this, that is the localization distance will be very less. The reason you all know that in the sensory homunculus, your face is widely represented and your hand is widely represented and your thumb will be very much widely represented. So because of the representation in the homunculus, the localization distance will be less. That is, the pinpoint localization is very well possible in these areas, whereas in the lower limbs or in the back side, where the representation is less in the homunculus, the localization distance will be more. That is the difference between your keeping the point and the subject keeping the pen, the difference, the distance will be greater. Distance will be greater. So that is depending on the homunculus. This is the tactile localization. You have to examine whole body dermatome wise. You start from the C2 and you have to examine the dermatome wise whole body, and you have to compare always right and left immediately. You should not earlier I have made a mistake here when I demonstrated you the joint position sense. I examined the position here, then here, then here I went to the other limb. That is the wrong thing. You have to do in this finger here, immediately you have to go to the same finger on the other side. Similarly, wrist here and wrist on that side. Elbow this side, then you have to immediately go on the, so always you have to compare immediately the right and left. So, like this you have to examine in the lower limb also, and you can demonstrate the localization distance. Next, you have to demonstrate the tactile discrimination, or this is also called as the 2-point discrimination. So, up to now we have examined or demonstrated, so one touch you are and you are localizing. So, here in the human body, in the sensory nervous system demonstration, we know that, so the subject can perceive with the closed eyes, simultaneously you touch 2 points, they can locate or identify it as a 2-point touch. So, this tactile discrimination, or otherwise called as the 2-point discrimination or 2-point localization. Tactile localization is demonstrated only one touch, single touch, whereas here you are going to touch simultaneously at 2 areas, and then whether you demonstrate whether they can perceive the 2 touch as the 2 touch or single touch. First we have to demonstrate with open eyes, then only we have to demonstrate with the closed eyes. How many? 2. This
2. 1.
This
1.
Open eyes, first make them familiarize, then you demonstrate the 2-point discrimination or tactile discrimination. So, this is the compass esthesiometer, where there will be 2 limbs. So, make the screw tight so that they both get approximated, and now when you touch this, it will be perceived as a single touch. The single touch just happens.
1.
So, this is perceived as a single touch. Start with this and then gradually go on increasing the distance between, gradually, and you demonstrate at which point, at which distance they are able to recognize or perceive it as a 2-point touch. At that point, you have to measure the distance between these 2 limbs using a scale, so many millimeters. The difference, tactile discrimination, at what distance these 2 are perceived as the 2, that you have to demonstrate over various parts of the body. For example, you examine over the, like I told you, the homunculus difference is there. So, you demonstrate over the 2 palms, then arm, then you can demonstrate the back, and can demonstrate over the thigh, and the distance is different. It is a different. For example, you say that because I told you the homunculus is, in the sensory homunculus, the hand is widely represented, the thumb is widely represented, the face is widely represented. So, the discrimination is possible. Like I told you, the localization distance in the tactile localization, here also the discrimination is possible even with a minimum distance like 2 mm or 3 mm. Whereas, if you go to the chest or back, then it becomes more, even you may require centimeters, 6 centimeters or 7 centimeters distance is required to identify or appreciate it as the 2-point touch. So, we start with the palm of the hand. I am slightly increasing.
1.
So, still they are perceiving it as the 1.
1. 2.
So, now subject has perceived it as a 2. So, we will take a scale and measure. it is 3 millimeters. So, in the finger, over the finger, it is 3 millimeters. Now, we will demonstrate in the forearm. So, you take, like I told you, you have to demonstrate on the opposite hand.
1, 1, 2,
So, now perceived as the 2, measure the distance, it is same 3 millimeters. So, right hand, left hand, same finger is chosen, the distance is also same. Similarly, you demonstrate over the forearm.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2,
So, see the difference between the fingers and the forearm. It is 8 mm, 8 mm over the right forearm. Right finger, you have seen that it is a 3 mm, where the forearm it is the 8 mm. Similarly, we will use the same technique over the opposite forearm.
1, 1, 1, 1,
So, this is the distance over the forearm. So, it is 9 mm over the left forearm. So, this is the tactile discrimination. So, we examine the tactile localization, tactile discrimination under the cortical sensation. Third thing is the stereognosis. This is called as the one of the synthetic sensations, synthetic, where the subject with the closed eyes, you have to give some object into their palm or into the hand, they have to touch it, feel it, and then press it, whatever they want to do, and then they have to recognize the object. Commonly known objects, for example, we all know what is, how the coin will look, how the pencil, how the pen, or the how the keychain, all this like this. So, the known objects you can, suppose if they are unknown object also you give, they have to, by feeling it, touching it, you have to say that whether it is a soft or hard, round or square or heavier or lighter, like that they have to tell. This is called as the stereognosis. And parietal cortical lesion, the stereognosis is last, which is called as the astereognosis. So, here with the closed eyes we will be giving the known familiar objects and unknown objects also, and let us see what happens. కళ్ళు మూసుకోండి సార్, చేయి చూపించండి సార్.
pen, pen, pencil,
మీరే తీసేసుకోండి.
pencil, scale, scale,
So, this is familiar, unknown. We can give unknown objects which are, they are not familiar, and they have to say whether it is a round, or they have to describe this, how it is to touch, whether it is a light or heavy, like that they have to tell.
so round one with a central hole and substance. So it's a round one with a central hole, and it is hard to feed, heavy.
So this is how we examine the general sensation. So under the headings of superficial sensation, deep sensation, position sensation, vibration sense and cortical sensations. And finally you have to assess whether the sensory system is normal or abnormal. Finally you have to give report whether the touch sensation is lost, or you have to, when the sensation is lost, you should map it out. For example, you are examining the dermatome wise, when you are examining, they say that they are not able to perceive, then there you have to map it out from the loss of sensation to the perception of sensation. So you start from the area where there is a loss of sensation, gradually you map it in all the direction, what is the borders of the anesthesia or loss of sensation, which you call it the anesthesia. Similarly, pain loss sensation, analgesia, you have to map it out like that, and then you have to look for the loss of position sensation, whether it is the distal joint or the proximal joints, you have to know. And loss of vibration sense is also seen in the case of posterior column or dorsal column lesions, where you call this as the sensory ataxia. Loss of position sense, joint sensation because of the posterior column lesion, we call it the ataxia, sensory ataxia. So here to assess the sensory ataxia, one test we will be demonstrating, that is called as the Romberg sign. So Romberg sign is to assess whether the patient is suffering from sensory ataxia, that is the lesion or dorsal column lesion or posterior column lesion. So ask the subject to stand with both close together. So like this, first they have to stand with the open eyes. So if they are suffering from cerebellar, that is a motor ataxia, even with open eyes, they are unable to stand like this. They have to to maintain balance. To maintain balance, they will be like standing like this in the cerebellar ataxia, or which is called the motor. We will learn later, motor ataxia. In the sensory ataxia, so with the closed foot, with open eyes, they are normal. They are normal. When you ask them to close the eyes, then they are unable to maintain the balance. They will sway or fall down. Normal person, they will stand with the closed eye also. So see this, with the closed legs are closed, very closely applied. So with the closed eyes also, they are able to stand because the position sense, that is your posterior column is taking the sensation of your foot, your knee, your hip joint, all the joints, you are aware of the position of all the sensations. That is your foot is touching the ground, and your toes and the ankle joint position, everything is aware. Posterior column is taking the sensation to the parietal cortex, so you are aware, perceiving it correctly, so you are able to stand. In the posterior column lesions, you are not aware whether your foot is over the floor or in the air. It appears as if they say that the posterior column lesion, so they will not feel the ground beneath. They will not feel the ankle joint in the position, they will not feel the knee joint position. So they are unaware of their position in the space, they will sway, immediately they will open to look, so that they are aware that the foot is over the ground, they will maintain the balance. So this is called the Romberg sign, to assess the posterior column or lesion where they cannot stand with the closed eyes, the foot close together. With open eyes, they are able to stand. Cortical sensations, we examined tactile localization, tactile discrimination, stereognosis, and recently we are adding another test for the cortical sensation, that is called as the graphesthesia. So that is, we will demonstrate how to do this graphesthesia, demonstrate. So they have to perceive, that is with the closed eyes, if you draw some circle or some square or some letter or some figure, they have to identify with closed eyes, that is called as the graphesthesia. You have to compare on both sides also. For example, you take the palm and take a pencil or pen and then draw some figure. For example, I say that
circle. 5.
So, like this they are able to identify.
Circle 3.
So, like this they are correctly able to identify the figure or number. So, this is the graphesthesia. So, we are examining the general sensation throughout the body and each dermatom wise under the headings of superficial sensation, touch, temperature, pain, deep sensation, pressure and pain, position and joint sensation, vibration sense, and the cortical sensation we are examining under the heading of tactile localization, tactile discrimination, stereognosis and graphesthesia. So, with this we conclude the examination of sensory nervous system, and we move on. Next class we will discuss about the motor nervous system.